Tomorrow marks 24 years since the 9/11 terror attacks, and just recently, the medical examiner's office announced the identification of 3 more victims. But 1,100 remain unidentified, and Alice Gaynor looks back on the initial recovery operation and the work that is still taking place today.
Mark Desire's wristwatch remains frozen at 9:59 a.m., the time the South Tower collapsed.
I thought I was dead. I thought that was it.
On September 11, 2001, Desire was at the World Trade Center site with the Office of the Chief Medical Examiner to preserve evidence and set up a temporary morgue. He ran as the tower fell, was hit by debris, and sent crashing through a window, suffering several injuries. He came to work the next day on crutches and was put in charge of doing DNA identifications at Ground Zero.
To do proper searching, it needed to be spread out more.
The decision was quickly made to use the recently shuttered Fresh Kills landfill on Staten Island.
2 a.m. on the 12th was when we got our first 2 loads of material.
So less than 24 hours later.
From there, it just ramped up.
Michael Mucci, then the Department of Sanitation's director of the site, oversaw its reopening.
If we didn't close, we wouldn't have been able to do this here.
It was a tremendous and deeply personal, round-the-clock, multi-agency forensic operation with a view of the skyline where the towers once stood.
I'll tell you what really got me when they started bringing in crushed fire trucks. And you knew, everybody on Staten Island knew a fireman or a policeman that was in the tower. So when they started bringing in the crushed fire trucks, that kind of hit home.
Material was sorted and sifted, some of it passing through quarter-inch sieves.
This is the entire area where the 9/11 operation was. All the headquarters, the trailers, the sifting machines were all on this side, and the western side is where we buried 1.2 million tons of debris after it was all sorted.
To have that material that had remains of people.
It was in its own section, its own special area, and we tried to keep it as dignified as possible.
Desire, who worked at Fresh Kills, explains remains, some as small as the size of a pea, were then transported to the medical examiner's DNA lab. Years later, more would be found in Lower Manhattan.
They were finding remains on rooftops, in manholes, so the search kept getting a little bit more expanded.
Using an animal bone as an example to show us, scientists say 24 years later, they continue to test and retest remains as technology evolves. They urge victim family members to contact them, saying they could make more identifications today if they had familial DNA.
They want to check on the DNA that was submitted early on to make sure that everything we have is most sufficient for comparison.
The commitment they made in 2001 to bring everyone home has not been forgotten. Alice Gaynor, CBS News, New York.
More than 100 Department of Sanitation workers have died from 9/11 related illnesses, and that includes members of the medical examiner's office. To help commemorate 9/11, President Trump will attend the Yankees game tomorrow night. And because of increased security, fans are urged to arrive at Yankee Stadium a lot earlier than usual. There will be enhanced security screening and also limited parking in the area. And of course, tomorrow we will have live coverage of the 9/11 commemoration ceremony. It will start at 8:25 in the morning. You can watch that right here on air and also streaming on CBS News New York.